All right, here we go. Episode 16, buddy.
Back at it.
Back at it, man. Cool. Yeah, so today's our Friday, and we like to do these on Fridays and kind of reflect over the week. I don't know, something a little different. I don't know, like a little electric sauce update. We're kind of in the hiring process. We're kind of going through that motion, kind of trying to figure out, man, hiring is hard, and I always hear about it. You know what I mean? Like, people always say, hiring super hard. Gary V's like mentioned it a couple of times, but what is your real quick? What is your take on the hiring stuff?
Yeah, I would say it's better to spend a lot more time up front looking for the right hire than trying to choose one quickly because it's not fun to have to fire or let anyone go. And so it's a longer journey than you'd like sometimes, but it's worth the effort up front.
That's awesome. That is a cool and awesome YouTube short right there, buddy. That's cool, man. So I actually just posted this morning, or like not this morning, but a little earlier. I was. It's kind of funny, dude. Like, if you know me, I have this thing about food where I want to not have to think about it at least during the week. You know what I mean? I got a couple buddies. One buddy was like, I'm just such a foodie, like I can't do this. But my thing is that I want, and I call it the hockey puck, and I want to be able to just pick something. And then, like, the reason why I call it a hockey puck is because I want it to be in the shape of a hockey puck, or not necessarily the shape, but the size of a hockey puck. And I just want it to be done. I want to be done with food during the week. Like it would be great if that thing could cover my entire daily nutritional thing. And I'm cool if it tastes a little on the funny side, but if I just wash it down with some water, hey, you know what I mean? Like, I'll
It's
deal
probably
with
the
it.
most robotic thing that you have going on for sure.
Right. And it's bizarre. I know, but I'm excited to say that I think I found my hockey puck. And it is not in the shape or color of a hockey puck. It is called meal squares. I actually did a Google search the other day, and I was like, most efficient food with where I don't have to do anything. And I found a Reddit post, and they were just talking about Huel and Soylent. Like, Huel's good. Like, I'm down with the Huel. Some people don't really agree with it. You know what I mean? Like, it is this
Yeah, I haven't tried their meals. The shake I didn't
okay,
really like, but the meals might be
right?
better.
So and they do have meals. They do have like a bag of meals where it's a scoop. You just put it in a bowl, mix it with water, and you're good. And I definitely want to try those too. Um, and then the Huel, it's like this clumpy beige colored shake. Like, if you get the neutral one, like the non-flavored one, it's like this weird beige color. It's kind of lumpy. um, you gotta shake it real good. But so meal squares. All right, meal squares. They're like this weird bread cake thing, and it's supposedly very nutritional. It's got all your whole foods that you need. It's got vitamins. It says that it has right here the protein. It says as much protein serving as a serving of chicken, and less sugar than a banana. And so it comes in a little square bread cake kind of thing, and it's got 400 calories. I think it's got 22 grams of protein. You couple that with a Huel shake ready to go. You got lunch consumed in 90 seconds. So
Yeah, and I think it could really work if they have right now on the website it looks like just one flavor profile. I don't even really know what flavor it is, but I feel like if you hit each kind of like not demographic, one Indian one Mediterranean one Mexican one, flavor profile, if you could nail that just in the beginning, and then you could branch out on the Indian side, and of course all the others to curry and tikka masala, and I mean then you're good because it's you're not eating the same flavor profile every day. That's all you need
True.
is some variety in that flavor profile, and then I think you're golden. You could be still a robot, but at least have, satisfy the kind of flavors that you would want,
I agree. I agree. I mean, and it says that they've sold 600,000 plus meal squares sold. Apparently they last 2 months. And you just put them in the fridge and then you just eat one and you're good. But yeah, and there's like, you get 30 of them for $100. So like, I'm
yeah.
pretty down
They look
to,
pretty good too. I mean, it looks
yeah,
like kind of fluffy. It doesn't look like dense like a brick. It almost looks like cornbread, And so I'm like, okay,
yeah,
like as long as it has some texture and it's a little bit fluffy and not
uh-huh,
too, you don't want to bite into something that's like really hard or anything. But so it's, and it sounds like they've got some good um, people behind it, that really know what they're doing. So
right.
it's
It
kind of
says
cool. We've been talking about this
yeah,
for a while, for years now, and it's cool to see this product.
finally, and they're on Shopify. How about that? They just need to maybe some help with some emails, get some flows for them, and ready to rock and roll, man, on the meal squares. How about that? I'll reach out to the people.
Yeah, exactly. It just made me think of that other Shopify style platform. I just talked to the one of the guys that started it, and I cannot think of it. I'll have to come back on
Oh
the
yeah.
next episode. It starts with a P, but I can't think of the name of it, so I'll just have to circle back on that one. Prado, thank you. Yeah, it's like Prada, but with an O, and it's basically just like the Shopify for like ready to eat meals, kind of like Snap Kitchen here in Texas. There's also Snap Kitchen like in I think it's Philadelphia, but yeah, they're like basically pre-prepared meals that are healthy. And so he built basically a Shopify style platform for those kind of brands out there. So that's pretty exciting. I'm definitely looking forward to helping as much as I can with him get that thing going and get those brands over there to get on the platform. It seems a lot more cost effective than Shopify, using recharge. So
That's cool because like that's just like another like a brand new platform that's kind of untapped in terms of like email marketing agencies. You know what I mean? And so the idea of like us being able to be one of the few, the big, some of the early ones that are on the platform. That's pretty cool. That the guy, and I know that like it's a little different because it's like food. You know what I mean? And like the behavior, the I guess the I don't know the customer behavior life cycle. Is like a little different than if they were buying like shampoo. You know what I mean? This is like meal prep, right? This is like buying food for they're not quite as like robotic. They want to be able to have like like enjoy their food and not eat a hockey puck. But uh, I'm curious to think about that and like maybe even get on call, like have one of the people that run that kind of business on the podcast. I think it'd be kind of cool to have a conversation with them on that and like how that would work in terms of emails and I think your buddy was saying that his platform can like integrates with Klaviyo.
yeah, it does. Yeah,
That's
so
cool.
that's cool. But yeah, it'd definitely be cool to get one of those brands on like Mill Squares. Get someone from Mill Squares on here.
Oh, dude, that would be cool. Yeah, and like I think they'd get a kick out of my whole hockey puck theory. I'm into it. I'm into it. I'm gonna try and find it because like when I coupled it with like the Huel, like the ready to drink thing, it's like $8 for lunch, and nowadays $8 is like pretty affordable, pretty cheap.
Yeah,
I don't. Sometimes we're spending like $15, $20 just for one of us. Not quite anymore, but and then you can consume it in just a few seconds and just be done with it, which is really cool. But yeah, we gotta get your buddy on here. You think he'd be down to kind of hang out with the Shine?
I don't know. He's not. I wouldn't say he's the hangout type because he's running a SaaS business. He's very
Sure,
very busy. So
sure.
yeah, I don't know. I could definitely ask, but I'm sure he's like extremely packed schedule.
Oh, I bet he's probably just slammed. I can't imagine like building a SaaS company. Like I don't even know where to start. Um, raising
Coding,
money, coding.
yeah,
Yeah,
that too.
coding and
Yeah.
raising money. Yeah, exactly. Like he might. I don't know. Would you say he's the CEO, right?
Yeah, he's one of the founders. I'm not sure what role he plays, but
Gotcha.
he was led a lot of the technical team for Snap Kitchen for a while, and then went on to be
Cool.
CEO. And
That's
yeah, so
awesome.
he's got a wide range of skills. He's a brilliant guy.
That's cool, man. Um, hell yeah. Uh,
And we talked about personality types with one of our hires.
oh, that was cool. Yeah, that was really cool. I like that when yeah, I was like telling you and everybody that was on the call, like I think that like knowing that is like really self-aware. I think self-awareness is like super powerful.
I
um
do too. Yeah.
like to be able to know your personality trait, and really it just makes me feel like you want to know more about yourself, you know what I mean, and like what are your strengths, and how can you be a part of a team, and use those strengths to bring your A game kind of thing. But I don't know, just like all in all, it's just really cool to be able to hear, because we're both introverted, and then one of the potential hires was extroverted, and just instantly brought the energy on the call, which is really cool. I can appreciate, I have a handful of extroverted friends, and they definitely bring the energy. That's just what they thrive off of, man. Just being around uh, a group of people. You know what I mean? Like for me,
Yep.
like I get sleepy. I get sleepy.
Yeah, it's tough for me. I can only do it in small doses. And I recently reread Peter Drucker. The book's called How to Manage Oneself, and I thought that
Hmm.
was kind of a little bit of makes you kind of look inward at and kind of analyze yourself at how do you operate. And the book really talks about communicating that, like it's your responsibility to communicate that to the people that you work with, including not just you know like subordinates too, and people above
Hmm.
you, basically the whole, anyone that you have direct contact with and work with. um, and maybe we can talk a little bit more about that on another pod, but there's some cool, part of it's like your values, part of it's like how do you learn. Are you more a almost like a visual versus like a written learner? He
Hmm.
talked about like some people, yeah, just like to are better off at reading something, and some people are better off at seeing it.
Yeah.
And so just knowing those things and being able to, yeah, say, hey, if especially if you're new coming into a role, that could be a good way to say, this is how I prefer to be communicated with, and how I prefer to, operate and learn. Just, kind of helps everyone understand you better. But
Hmm.
you have to understand yourself first to be able to communicate that. So I thought it was pretty cool. It's the version that I read was like it's very short and sweet, but there's so much, questions that you're kind of asking yourself that there's a lot to unpack in that book.
Yeah, and it's a great book. Like I would listen to it, and I think like the entire book's like 40 minutes, 40 minutes long.
Yeah, I
It's
want to
a
say it's like 50 pages of a book. It's not much. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you could just like carry it with you in your back pocket. It's a good one, and he uses like some examples for. I think one of them was a president, and it was somebody else back in the day, where they knew that their strength was like reading, or I don't remember what it was, but um, he knew what his strength was, and so that's how he would prepare for his like presentations. He would
Exactly.
do that, and he would be able to retain the information a lot better. And you mentioned before, I think would be really powerful to try out, is to listen to a book and read it, like follow along at the same time. So like, you're like listening to the audio and then like you have the physical book in your hand. So, because then you're seeing it and like audio, so you're hearing it. So it's like, have you done that and have you found it like work really good for you?
I haven't done it. I think the way, so I heard it from Alex Ramosi, and he was like, just you're using more of your senses by hearing it and by following along, and so it can enable you to read faster.
Mm-hmm.
But also, one way that you could kind of hack it is just reading out loud. So you're hearing yourself read it while you read along.
It's true.
But I looked into it, and so there's like it's called Whispers. Well, no, Whisper Sync would be like if you're going between just reading it and hearing it, and then going in your car, and it would automatically start from where you left off.
Okay.
So it's kind of a cool productivity hack, I guess, if you want to go that route. But no, I haven't actually tried it yet. I thought it would be, I've been wanting to. Think it'd be super cool, but yeah, it's if anyone's tried it out, well, I'd love to hear your feedback.
Yeah, exactly. I've played around with it, but I didn't do it long enough for it to actually like me actually notice anything. So
Hmm.
I'd have to go back and really like, all right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to set it up for a week, 2 weeks, or whatever, maybe even a month, and really
Yeah.
get some data.
I
Uh,
was just pretty surprised just now how you remembered some of like that book, Managing Oneself, with the president. I think it was like Roosevelt, and it was
oh,
like
cool.
it's funny. I just read this, and I feel like you know it better than I do, which is like one of the presidents was like he didn't need a script or anything, and he would just give these powerful presentations. And then the president that came in after him just wasn't that great of like an orator, and like needed a little bit of like a script, at least a little bit before he got on the camera. Just
Mm-hmm.
what are the questions? Like what am I going to be talking about? And that helped him perform. But before he knew that, he like would tank every kind of public speaking event. So
Yeah. No, it's uh, we always talk about Ty Lopez for some reason, but it's actually on his like list, his like number one book, and so I had it audio version, and so it's such a short, quick audio. I would literally just like almost listen to it back. This was a couple years ago, but I would listen to it
yeah,
just like driving wherever, you know what I mean? And then like back then, I was, coming from where I kind of grew up in Huffman, and it's a good 40 minutes, depending on traffic, but it's a good 40 minutes to come just out to Houston. So you know what I mean? Like I could finish that book just within that commute. So I was able to listen to it a few times, and to really absorb like the like it's like meaning behind it, and like what is self awareness, and like how do I learn? And I feel like for me it's a combination of being able to listen, like see things, and then like doing is like the most, I think the most powerful thing. And so the not quite doing it, but the next step, I guess, like under that would be like trying to explain it. You know what I mean? And so
hmm,
a lot of times I'll try and explain it to see if I can get it to stick. But it's funny, we were talking about this last time. But yeah, I mean, it's just a super easy book to just like read. You know what I mean? Just like randomly, just
yeah,
keep
because
keep
it's
keep it
it's
on
less
there.
about reading it as much as it is about like actually doing, like unpacking the info and doing that self
Mm.
investigation, answering those questions, because it is like basically just a series of questions that you need to answer. So yeah, you could read it in a couple of hours, maybe even less than probably less than an hour if you really wanted to. But doing that work, is kind of like a gradual process.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. Just a quick update for my Twitter. I've been rocking and rolling. It's, consistency is key with everything, man. Like if you just
For
like with
sure.
our podcast, like we're starting to see it grow, you know, Twitter, and then like taking some. I actually got the time blocker. situation. So I'm going to be
Nice.
starting that. Yeah, so I'm pretty pumped about that. So this is from Cal Newport. This is the time block planner, and a really cool way of being able to block out your day on your daily sheets and stuff like that, and decide, and then you can type in your write in your stuff here. And then this box right here is really cool. You just hit that box. That's your shutdown complete, and we'll see if it works. But so I got that going on, and I'm going to keep doing that starting next week because it's fresh. Today's Friday, so I don't want to start it on Friday, but consistency, right? So I got this. So that's going to get me to like start writing more, and so I'm going to write an article for LinkedIn, right? So that's what we were talking about. Like instead of like a newsletter right now, we can just like do an article on whatever, like email marketing. That's kind of what we're really focused on. But we also like other stuff. You know what I mean? We're talking about hockey pucks, food, and stuff like that. But the update I wanted to say is that I have been tweaking my bio, and I tweaked it again.
Uh-huh.
And so this is it. It's building relationships, the email flow fixer, and then guest on the sauce pod ? And then it has an error. It has a fingerprint, and it says DM. So I'm
Nice.
trying to invite people to know, like, hey, like, what are you doing? So that's what I was looking into. It's like your bio needs to let people know, like who are you? What do you do? You know, and like what can they expect from you? You know what I mean? And so I might need to add in what they can expect from you, like, but it's like, what am I doing? I'm building relationships. Like I put building a marketing agency, but like it feels like everybody's doing that, and I wanted to try and be different. And at the end of the day, like, what is like the cool thing? What is like, what are what is like, building a business? I feel like it's like, or even a podcast. It's like building relationships, and I think that like if you have good relationships, you can go far. You know what I mean? So, and we have our thing, building ships. Um, that's going to be like something really cool that I want to like grow on and like build like down the road. But so building relationships, the email flow fixer, I want to like play with that. I really want to lean into like focusing on like these brand stores, like these brands, like their flows. You know what I mean? I think that the flows, man, we can get these flows solid, like 20%. Like and I've seen a lot of times we'll hit 20%, 25% just from the flows, and it's like pretty powerful. So then like you get it to that point, and then it's automatic. You know what I mean? And then so you can kind
Right.
of like move that lever on the campaign side. You get it to 15, and like you're actually doing 30% from email without beating people over the head with like sale after sale after sale. You know what I mean? So I like the idea of really leaning into those flows. And so yeah, I'm going to play with that email flow fixer. And then yeah, anybody that since that I'm a lot more active on or have been active on Twitter, people come to my page or my profile or whatever. And if anybody's interested, hit us up. We'd love to hang out on the sauce
Definitely.
pod. So cool. I'm good, man. How about you? I
Short
said
and
that.
sweet. I like
Yep.
it.
Short and sweet. Cool. Well, this was episode 16. Really appreciate everything you watching, and if you have any comments or anything like that, feel free to add them down below. You can find us on all the social medias. Specifically, we're really, I don't know, what is the like active on Twitter and LinkedIn, and yeah, yeah, just reach out if you're wanting to hang out. But that's it.
Sweet. See y'all next
Cool.
time.
Later. Pew. There's the button. Come on now.